You with the damn slurping.
You thought right.
Welcome to Puro Pinche Sports. I am your host, Jose Garza, and Jesse Mendez is here to disrupt everything with his slurping. Anyways, what's going on, guys? Art is here. Jesse is here. Everything is right in the world again. God damn it.
And the slurp begins.
I
Welcome to Puro Pinche Slurp.
know, right? Jesse, how you doing tonight, brother?
Good, man, good. Been quarantining a little bit for my wife, but things have been good here.
Wait,
She's
hold
definitely
on. You're quarantining from your wife, or you're quarantining with your wife?
for for my
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, get it right, Art.
Yeah.
You jackass.
No, but everything's been going good, man. She's definitely finding a lot of stuff for me to do, which is not good. Get me out, boys. Get me out.
Oh, we're trying to.
Nah, but everything's been good though. Like bro, everything's been good. We're blessed. Um, we have power. We have water. You know, we got all the essentials.
Art, how you
But
doing?
how about
tonight,
y'all?
brother?
Yeah.
I'm doing great, man. Just finished a hard day of work. Starting to do some more remodelations or remodel to our house. Man, I can't speak today, but yeah, just trying to get some stuff done in the house, work, and hopefully get ready for a fantasy draft, our 2 fantasy drafts this weekend, which is gonna be crazy with all the injuries and all the drops and all the news. So trying to keep ahead of that.
I got 3 I'm in, so that's a lot. That's not a lot compared to probably normal people, but that's a lot for me. That's my entire weekend now. So whatever. So I'm excited. Anyways, boys, we're on today. This long ass intro for Puro Pizza Sports or Puro Pizza Slurps or Puro Pizza, whatever you want to fucking call it tonight. So Jesse's wondering why the fuck we invited him tonight.
It's true.
So I don't know if Jesse knows because he doesn't follow football as much or anything, but Cam Newton of the New England Patriots, my New England Patriots, who Jesse loves to mock as much as he can just to torture me.
Every chance I get.
That's right. Is fired. He got released. He got let go of the team. He was a starting
Amen,
quarterback last year. Amen. Fuck. He got released, and he's no longer on the team. Mac Jones, the rookie, who's probably going to be close to maybe rookie of the year if he can pull off a miracle for them. If he can't, and that's like I'm not there yet. Is the starting quarterback. I'm gonna start with Art. Art, your thoughts on the release of Cam and Mac being QB1 week 1?
So I believe I was getting my coffee ready today in the morning, ready to start my work. You know, normal day, listen to a fantasy podcast, get ready for fantasy drafts. And out of nowhere, it was a live podcast with the fantasy pros. And, you know, they just said Cam Newton has been released. I was like, whatever. I would have heard something from Jose if Cam Newton had been released. Got a bunch of notifications from Google Sports or the Sleeper app, everything. And I was like, is Jose asleep? So I decided to text him and I was like, hey, dude, your page is just released. Your so-called QB1.
Maybe I was in shock.
And took a while for you to reply. So I thought, Loki, you were crying. I didn't know how you were taking the news. But when you replied saying no way, I was like, okay, this guy has not seen anything.
So to answer that real quick, I was driving to work. I was getting my kid ready, and I was already on the road by the time you text me. So that's why it took me a while to look at it and be like. And then I saw the first words because the first thing he said was they released Cam. ... And I was like, okay, I haven't heard shit. I haven't got a notification. This motherfucker's lying. I'm not even gonna believe this shit. And then he put what the fuck, LOL. So made me believe him even less. If you know the three of us, between the three of us, this is we bullshit with each other all the time. So it's hard to believe shit that we say.
It's true.
We're the men that cried wolf to each other, of course. But anyways,
you should see us do trust falls.
You should see us doing poker night. So I didn't believe him until I stopped at my mom's. I looked at my Instagram because there's multiple Patriots pages I follow, and it was true. And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I do wrong? Or in this case, what the fuck did Cam do wrong? So, Art, you know what's been going on with the NFL. Jesse, we briefly kind of talked about it last time when we had you on the podcast for, the fantasy football mock draft. A lot of it, people believe it also has to do with the whole COVID-19 thing, the whole regulations, the thing that's going on for this season coming up. Jesse, as you don't know, Cam Newton is not vaccinated. The league is kind of like really pushing, for the players to almost forcing the teams to get COVID-19. I'm not COVID-19. Get the vaccine.
I was
get
like,
the vaccine. Get the vaccine. So I want to believe there was an incident last week that Cam said he didn't know or understand all the rules of what he can and can't do under the COVID-19 regulations and shit like that. So he kind of got not suspended, but he got sent home for like 5 days. He's already had COVID before, so speculation is that had to do something with the reason why he got released. So let me ask you first, Jesse. What are your thoughts? Because we didn't get you to finish fully what your thoughts were on that mock draft. I listened to the podcast, but we didn't get all of it because you were busy trying to draft. What are your thoughts on the employers, in this case, the NFL teams, owners, the coaches, GMs, whatever, kind of making the decision of like, look, you don't have the vaccine, I'm going to fire you. Do you think that's right, or you think that's wrong, or what do you think?
I definitely don't agree with anyone forcing like vaccinations. I do think there's a right approach, because I do think anyone who's able to should get it. You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of like a big understanding with the vaccination, because even some of my family members didn't fully understand it. They thought people who were unvaccinated were the spreaders, but people who are vaccinated that I know are still getting COVID. You know what I mean? And they've spread it to family members who are also vaccinated. So that's not really the case. It's just when you get the vaccine, it helps with any harsh symptoms you could have gotten from the COVID. So someone being unvaxxed doesn't necessarily make them a bigger, or at least there's no evidence to suggest that they're a bigger spreader. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's very tough, because if these are the employers, if they're not breaking any laws, then they should have the right to, I guess, govern like their employees,
Yeah.
Yet again, we're speculating that that's the reason why he got released.
I'm saying that's part of it. I think that's part of it. Not the full reason, but that's part of it.
I mean, they did draft a new QB, which it goes more with the way that the Patriots play, and it goes more with how Belichick runs his offense. Yet again, like I know Jesse says, hey, the whole vaccination process, you shouldn't force someone to. It's not going to make it more likely for you to spread around. I mean, there's no study saying, oh, because you haven't or because you have, you're going to spread like more. Yeah. Now, in the case of with the NFL, I mean, we've seen that. We talked about this, the three of us, about how, how the NFL is changing the rules and saying, okay, if all the teams are not vaccinated and there's a possibility of a game getting suspended or changed, then there's going to be a fine. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure, like you said, Jose, like, that is an implication of saying, why would we have a person that's not vaccinated? Yeah. And how is that going to affect the team? How is that going to affect the team owner? So at the end of the day, it's a shock, because I think he still had a lot of play in his tank. Did he fit Belichick's game plan? Probably not. We saw that last season. Yes, he did get COVID last season, but he's still a really good QB. So the whole vaccination process, I hope that's not the only reason why they did it, because even though I believe all three of us are vaccinated and we got vaccinated because of family members or because we just want to be safe for others, for our grandparents, for our parents, that doesn't mean that, you need to get back. Like, we're implementing say you should get vaccinated. No, hey, if you want to get vaccinated and you have your facts, go for it. We're not forcing anyone. We're not saying, hey, you should be forced.
Yeah.
But does it help the situation? Of course, it's going to help. So this implication with Cam Newton and the whole vaccine thing and the NFL, it's crazy. But we're going to have to see the outcome of that, how things play out.
I think intention is important, because if this is more for like a political aspect, or not so much political, I'm sorry. I guess so people don't grill the owners, you know what I mean, about not pushing for vaccinations, because I know that's a big thing right now. There's a lot of people on the right, there are a lot of people on the left just fighting each other. So like, who's right? Being able to be forced to get vaccinated or not, or having the right to choose not to. You know what I mean? So if this decision was for the safety of the players, that's understandable. But if this decision was because they don't want to be grilled for it, so this is the easy way out, just fire anyone who's not vaccinated, that's kind of, I guess, wrong. You know what I mean?
It's a dick move. I mean, really. But no, I mean, honestly, though, I think that's just a partial intake. And I kind of just wanted to bring it up also because we'll delve more into actually why he got canned, or at least the reason we think he got canned, me and Art. But I guess I wanted to bring it up because, one, I wanted you to finish what you started talking about when we did do the mock draft. And then second, we know it's getting closer. Like today, this week is when they're going to start cutting players. One of the head coaches, the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars, said during our final interview process with each of the players, because they could have up to 90 during the preseason, and then cut down to 53. Part of the reason is the decision making had to do with COVID. Like, are you vaccinated? Are you going to be a risk for the team? Because the NFL is implementing harsh rules that they kind of had last year but didn't enforce, and then they're saying they're going to enforce this year. So for example, Jesse, this year, if it's an 18-week NFL season. It's a week longer than the normal that has been the last good decade or so. They're saying if you get COVID, you spread it to your team, and then we have to shut your game down, and then we can't find a way to replace it, we're going to consider a forfeit. You're gonna get a forfeit. It's going to have playoff implications on there, which means you can't have a shot at the Super Bowl and shit like that. And now they're being harsh. Now that because of this, and because we have players like Cole Beasley of the Buffalo Bills and other people that have been outspoken about not getting the vaccine, because they don't trust, what the doctors say, because the doctors don't even know, supposedly, that what's in them, so they don't trust them. So now it's affecting their livelihoods in a sense. Last year the players had the chance to opt out. This year you're going to get fired if you don't have it, essentially. So that's why I wanted to bring it up to you. Do you have any more thoughts on it?
I mean, it's hard because you almost don't feel sympathetic for the players getting fired, because they make so much money. So you think if their employers want to make some harsh, like, not regulations, but rules for them to follow, you think they should be able to follow it if they want to continue making that same paycheck. But it's on them. Like, if they don't want to do it, they shouldn't have to. But again, this is the door. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're not going to be forced to work for that employer. You're just not. I think for them, I guess the negative aspect that they see is they're no longer getting that income. You know what I mean? Getting that paycheck. So yeah.
And I think the other side of the coin is that if you don't get vaccinated, you are at risk more, right, to get COVID than the ones that
not more at risk. Just well,
that's the idea. That's the idea, right? Like, that's what they're saying. So go on.
Yeah, it's not so much that you're more likely to get sick. It's if you get COVID, your symptoms will be much more aggressive. Like, you can look at the hospital rates. Most of the people who have COVID that are in the hospitals are people who were not vaccinated. Not to suggest, because correlation isn't causation. So just because we're seeing a rise in numbers in the hospitals of people unvaccinated, that doesn't mean it's only unvaccinated people who are getting COVID. You know what I mean? Okay. They're just the ones getting the severe symptoms. And that's because they chose not to get the shot, the vaccine.
Right. So I think the coaches and the GMs and the owners' mindset is that, you're not putting us, like the team, in favor, because if you risk us getting forfeits and shit like that, you risk us more money, more opportunities and stuff like that. So in that sense, that's the side of the coin, the owners are going to be looking at, right? They don't give a fuck about the other side of the coin.
Right, but again, I don't think I guess if that's how they're doing it, I guess there's still a misunderstanding because even the players who are vaccinated, they can still catch COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that almost doesn't make sense to me that they're targeting the people who are unvaccinated, because if one of the players who is vaccinated gets COVID and they spread it, are they going to also get fired? You know what I mean?
True. You got a point. Art, you got any final thoughts?
Yeah, I guess we can look at it like in the sense that Jesse's saying, it's who are you going to fire at the end of the day, whoever gets COVID? Like, you're not going to fire someone who's vaccinated or not. You're going to look, it sounds bad, but you're going to look like a hypocrite at the end of the day. And if you think about it, how much money does the NFL make just from people watching football on Sundays? So, yes, I know it's just a sports show and everything. We're not talking about anything with the government and things like that. But hey, it's another outlet for things like that to get promoted. We see that with the Super Bowl. How many people don't pay just to be on the Super Bowl ads?
Yeah.
And an ad can sway you one way or it can sway you the different way. So maybe this is, I don't know, could be a tactic, could be looked at different ways. We all looked at all of these items as openly as possible. We're not saying, oh, this is what we believe, but hey, it's like, hey, this is our point of view on it. This is our voice on that. So we're not trying to say, hey, do this or don't do that.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, hey, the NFL it's huge and they're going to use it as an outlet as well. So yeah, Jesse has a great point on that. I agree with that too.
Absolutely. So let's transition on that, Art. So go back to Cam Newton. He got fired because he lost a QB job. He got fired because he lost a QB job. Mac Jones outperformed him in practice, in preseason. It's simple as that. Am I shocked? Absolutely. I don't care how many reports were said that, it's still a battle and all this stuff. I'm shocked. I think Cam Newton was supposed to be QB1. And yeah, maybe this final thing with the COVID thing was part of the reason why he got let go. It made it easier to rip off the Band-Aid, but I'm shocked. I really am. The rookie that I'm not sure is really the future, even though everyone's hyping it up to be. They're about to pull the trigger. The future is now. I'm scared. I don't know what to believe in.
I guess you could look at it this way. How many great QBs were drafted in the NFL draft? We had the Bears, we had the Jets, we have the Patriots, we had the 49ers, and we had the Jags picking up 5 top QBs in the top 10.
Well, in the first round. And wait real quick, and think about that. That's just this season. Last season, the Bengals got a good one. The Chargers got a good one.
So if we think about it, like last season, it was Burrow.
Yeah.
Darnold left after Burrow got the job, and he left to the Cowboys.
Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold left this year from the Jets to the Panthers.
Well, he got kicked out.
And he got kicked out. So those two kind of got the, like that, okay, you got the starting road, and, that's how we're going to roll with it and blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
The Jags just did the same thing a couple of days ago. They traded Minshew to the Eagles.
Yep.
That was another crazy, why don't you just keep it as a backup? You don't know if he's going to be a great person. Like his first rookie year. Yes, he's the number 1 draft pick and everything. He's looked out for greatness.
Mm-hmm. So what's your thought on Cam?
I think they did him dirty. To be completely honest, I think it was dirty. Just like how they did Minshew. At least Minshew got traded. Hey, okay, you have a chance to keep your salary and you're going to be able to play.
So what if nobody wanted him? What if nobody wanted to trade for him?
How come they're trading for Deshaun Watson, though? Deshaun Watson has, I don't know how many allegedly,
he's got 20 plus, sexual misconduct accusations right now, but
and people and teams are, hey, okay, let's trade for him. It's okay. I just don't think that's what I said. I think the
because if he's innocent, it's an upside. But I guess that's, you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but let's say he's innocent, right? He's proven not guilty, right? Because he's not guilty until proven, right, that he's guilty,
right?
So
yet again, we don't know what their contract says, though. We have to think about that.
Yeah, but Cam's cheap as fuck. That was his contract.
Right. But if his contract said, hey, I can't, if I sit, then I'm going to get this money. Like, we don't know, like, at the end of the day, we don't know the overall language of their contract. But it's like, hey, what if Cam Newton had to sit down and he was still going to get paid? It's just like Deshaun Watson. If Deshaun Watson doesn't play, he loses on money. And it's better for the Texans not to trade him and then just wait for his contract.
That's why he's been in training camp.
To get waived off. Hey, It gets waived off. You have that no trade clause, whatever. It passes on after your fifth year, whatever contract gets done. Hey, we'll trade you for a high value. Maybe that's why we don't see that happening with the Bears and starting Fields, or we don't see the 49ers starting Trey Lance.
So what's
like, they're probably not trading dirty their new quarterbacks. I mean,
no.
Like, it was just disrespect towards Cam. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it was.
Maybe, but at the same time too, we're not behind closed doors. Maybe Cam didn't want to be there. Maybe Belichick told him, "Hey, Len, I'm gonna give QB1 to Mac," and Cam said, "All right, that's cool. I want out." Because that could be possible too.
True.
Think about it. The play scheme they're gonna have right now for Mac Jones is not what they're having for Cam.
No.
And vice versa. I mean, I'm pretty sure McDaniels has had all the play scheme that he's gonna have Mac Jones do because he used that for Tom Brady. All the shit that he had for Cam last year, he decided, you know what, let's just throw it out the window. I'd rather have Mac. You gotta talk about Cam Newton only had like 8 touchdowns, passing touchdowns last year. 8. The fuck? I mean, shit. Jesse could throw more touchdowns in freaking flag football. And he doesn't play sports.
You'd have to stand right in front of me, but
That's right.
We'll catch the ball. It's okay.
Right. Anyways, kidding aside, I think part of it, Cam didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be QB2 to that. I mean, come on. Think about it, bro. It's one thing if Cam started and then he got pulled out for Mac. It's another to just be replaced in an environment that didn't fit him even from the start. Right? I mean, you can say that. Like, Cam wasn't even supposed to be there. He got done dirty last year by the Panthers when they cut him after free agency had started. And now, a week and a half before, I mean, literally a week and 2 days before the next season starts, he gets fired. So you're right. Jesse, your thoughts on Cam getting fired? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that definitely sucks for that person.
And that is not a false statement.
That's not a false statement.
I don't know, bro. I'm looking at your shirt and that says false. But anyways, okay. So, all right, let me ask you this. What's the future for Cam? Where do you think he will land? What's a good environment? What's a good team that would fit him?
I mean,
starting or backup, bro?
Right now, I mean, the Jags need a backup quarterback. But I think
the Patriots only have one quarterback on their roster. They got rid of Brian Hoyer and then set him on the pup list.
Hey,
so they didn't. So I mean,
that's what I said. I don't know. Maybe like you said,
What about them Cowboys? What about Jesse's Cowboys? What about them? You think he'd be beneficial to them?
No, I honestly don't think he. I mean, if he lands in the Cowboys, hey, that's great. But I don't think he wants to play behind Dak. I think he wants a better chance of starting.
Yeah.
And I think that he has a better chance of starting with either landing with the Colts, landing with the Miami Dolphins. Right now, since they were saying, let's get Deshaun, but yet again, I know they have Tua. Washington seems like a good fall off. He goes back with his old coach. We don't know if Fitzpatrick is going to be the for sure.
He's QB1 right now. He's QB1 for sure. They've already announced it.
But Colts, I think the best landing spot right now, it's Colts with the QB situation right now. Maybe he lands in, I don't know, maybe he lands in Tennessee. Tannehill is in COVID protocol list. Maybe he'll play week 1, but if he doesn't, they need a QB1. I know they have their QBs there, but hey, maybe he lands there. But I think the Colts is the best option right now.
Does Cam have a future in the NFL, honestly? Or was this it?
No, I still think he.
I would think so. I don't even know sports, and I think I still think he has a shot.
No, he still has a shot. It's just
like a long, great career, maybe not, but
right. I think he deserves
to start somewhere.
he's trying to be the QB1. He doesn't have the age and he doesn't have the momentum to be a QB1 like he wants to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be the QB1. That's what they're gonna hire me for. No, he's gonna have to win the job. That's the thing. I mean, you're having new QBs coming in with the mobility and the run and the pass check. So it's he doesn't. Yes, he does like to do that kind of play, but then he needs to find the right offense. And right now, the ones that won that type of quarterback, they have a new quarterback. So the Texans might be a good one since right now they have what? Deshaun sitting down. They said they're going to be sitting down, and they have
supposedly Tyrod Taylor is going to start if Deshaun isn't.
Maybe he goes with
up there.
And maybe he goes with the Texans. I don't know.
There's a lot of options for Cam if teams want him. I think Cam might be patient, and I hate to say it, he's just going to wait till someone gets hurt, and then that's a guarantee win right there for him if they come knocking.
What happens if Mac Jones gets hurt? Do you think he goes back? Do you think he will go back?
I think he's good. I think he's like, nah, I'm good, fam. I'm good.
He's gonna struggle.
I don't know. It's just think about it, bro. He's not there. Either he said I want out after they gave it to Mac, or it's just they did him dirty.
I wouldn't go back.
Think about it. It's one of those two. He's like, he's not gonna go back. If Mac gets hurt, he ain't gonna go back. I mean, fuck. Brian Hoyer is gonna be available.
I mean, we've all dealt with it. If an ex-girlfriend if a girlfriend breaks up with you, would you go back?
Depends,
Okay.
We're talking about in general. There's a lot of people who do the re-return.
I mean, they also believe in forehead kisses too, but
What?
It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. It's a joke. Anyways.
Oh man.
Anyways, moving on. Speaking of jokes, Paul-Woodley versus Jake Paul on Sunday. Jesse, what are your thoughts on that fight? I know you didn't watch it when you talked about that, but What are your thoughts in general of the fact that it happened and then the result that happened? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like a lot because I've talked to a lot of people about it, and I feel like you've mentioned it, people are making it way worse than it actually was. Because it could be. You can argue it was a decent fight, but I think a lot of people had higher expectations just from how they've interacted with each other, all the smack talk. You know what I mean? And it was good smack talk, but and then I guess just their performance didn't reflect all that anger that they showed, which is a little disappointing.
All the verbal anger didn't reflect the fighting. Okay, Art,
exactly.
Your thoughts on everything on the circus?
To be completely honest, I don't think that fight should have been the headliner. I know that's the fight that everyone wanted to see. That's the fight that made money and everything. But that
was the attraction.
There were 4 other great fights before that main card. And it was like, I guess the fight with Floyd, we didn't see that. We didn't see the momentum picking up. So for us to be like, oh, hey, that was a great fight. And then like the momentum's here. And then it was another great fight. So like the momentum kept going. And then you get to the last fight and it just went down. So to me, it's like, okay, yes, it was a decent fight. It was an all right fight. Was I expecting Woodley to win? Yeah, I wanted him to win.
Did your high value of what you thought would happen have to do with just the fact that Jake won?
No.
And that Tyron didn't do shit. That's in your mind.
When I thought that things just went to shit was when they put the scorecard. And
the unofficial one? Yeah.
The unofficial scorecard. And it was just like 10, 10, 10, 10, 9, 10, 10, 10. I was like, dude, like, who's watching this? Like, who's scoring this card? Like, this is... Like, you scored 4 great fights before this one, and then you're scoring this one like 10, 10, 10, 10, 9. It's like, dude, like, you can't. Like, this is it was bought. And we talked about that saying, maybe it was just the same thing as the Floyd Paul fight, where it's like on your contract, maybe it stays. Do not knock out Paul.
Yeah, I'm convinced he was knocked out.
Oh, dude, after that freaking rope.
And he hugged him.
That rope saved him. That rope saved him. That rope saved him.
That rope saved him, and then Floyd saved his brother too in the last fight. But this one, where like he should have followed through, And then after that, we just saw the decline of Paul going like, hey, like I'm tired. I don't go past the second round. I'm tired, man.
And so let me ask you this. Because I can see you heating up. Was this rigged?
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, we've seen his career. You know, hey, he's a great promoter, and we talked about that with Mike, and we talked about that with you and Marco. Like, you know, he's an awesome promoter. He promoted the fight. He sold the pay-per-view, but at the end of the day, he's not a boxer. And yes, he has boxing training, but he has not fought a boxer. And we saw that
after the fight.
After that fight, we saw that, and it said, you know, like, would you fight Fury? Oh yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna avoid the question. Maybe a round 2 with Tyron. It's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna sell the second fight, yeah, because everyone wants to see the second fight, see if Woodley would beat him. And I'm telling you, if they go for a second fight, you better not pay for it, because it's gonna be rigged, and he's gonna lose it. And
I don't think Tyron Woodley's actually gonna get an "I love Jake Paul" tattoo, for one. So, look, at the end of the day, I don't actually mind that I paid for this fight. Once a month, I pay for fights, and the other fight was less entertaining in my eyes, for like worthy of buying. And that was on your wedding night, by the way. So I couldn't even buy it anyways, even if I wanted to. You know, we're over there dying in the fucking heat. You know, 90 degrees in the damn tent.
Dude, that's bad for art.
You have fun though, and it was free alcohol.
It was fun until your brother tried to break my spine, trying to knock your ass down.
I said wasting the beer and throwing it on the table.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was funny. I mean, I didn't try to waste it. I mean, I got wasted. Nah. No, but anyways, no. So, but honestly though, like, it looked like a Tyron Woodley fight. It's just what it is. Like, even before, it didn't look rigged. Like, I will say that I'm not going to be the guy that says it's rigged. Could it be 100% rigged? Yes, absolutely. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt. That's just Tyron Woodley being passive as fuck. Like, and everyone's like, no, he used to be a killer. He used to fuck you up if he had you. Like, yeah. And I remember in that Vicente Luque fight, when he rocked Luque, he went charging in, and then he got his fucking chin smashed, and he ended up getting choking out. So, not that he can get choked out in this fight, but, you know, think about it. Flashbacks of, like, what nightmares of you being knocked out and then finished and shit like that. That's going to hit you somewhere. Woodley's been passive since he got fucking smashed by Kamaru Usman. Since that night, he got smashed by Gilbert Burns 5 freaking rounds. He got smashed by Colby Covington. And then he got destroyed by Vicente Luque. Does he make a nice payday against Jake Paul? Yes. Does he actually think he won the fight? Yes. Do I believe he won the fight? No. I don't even. Bro, 5 rounds to 3, Jake Paul. And it wasn't like, oh my God, it was spectacular 5 rounds. It was more because Woodley wasn't doing shit. He wasn't pulling the trigger. But it is what it is, man. I mean, Woodley did what he does. I mean, he's passive. He doesn't push. He doesn't fight. Jake Paul is an amateur fighting in pros, and now his record is a YouTube star, an NBA star, not a professional wrestler, a freaking champion class wrestler, who's won titles in Bellator and 1 championship, and then a UFC champion, and UFC and Strikeforce champion. That's his resume now. But not one is yet a boxer. Yesterday he tweeted, "I'm retired, guys," and then today he tweeted, "I'm unretiring from boxing, guys."
You just put him in McGregor or what?
He's doing whatever the fuck he does because it's Jake Paul at this point, bro. Like, it sucks that he is becoming the not the face of boxing, but just the fact that he's getting more recognition for people to buy boxing fights than real athletes, real stars. Jesse, what are your thoughts, honestly, on these YouTube personalities, these TikTok stars, these weirdos who are just getting in a boxing ring and calling it a professional fight?
Well, I feel like it's not a movement, but I feel like it's a start of something. I feel like we're going to see a lot more of this, whether it's boxing, whether it's a different sport. I honestly feel like this is like, I guess, evolving. Like, you know what I mean? From YouTube stars, and they're trying to get into something else, almost to stay relevant. Because I mean, if we're being honest, their main talent is like a personality, you know.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to outshine like real stars, real athletes. And like in boxing, if you went up against like a champion, like I think it'd be a very different fight. Someone in their prime, you know. But I'm not gonna lie, it's really entertaining to see their personality like in full, like, you know what I mean, at 100%. Like those post interviews, like when they're talking to each other, talking shit to each other, like those were entertaining. Like, you know what I mean. Anybody's gonna say that. And like those personalities, I think, are what is grabbing a lot of people's attention. And I think that's why they're being successful in ratings, or not ratings. I'm sorry, like numbers. You know, even viewers. And I mean, that's they're successful in that area, and I think we're going to continue seeing that.
You know what is crazy though? That these fights, I mean, just the fact that they had the bar stools, commentators commentating crap. Like overall, it was just crap. It seems that they're trying to do what the WWE does best with boxing. They're trying to do the stupid boxing WWE TNT. Like that's what they're trying to do, and it's stupid. Like it's just not like they're
Ronda Rousey did it.
Well, but yeah, no. What I mean, it's like the fact that they're going from UFC to WWE, it's like, okay, you know, like we understand what the WWE is. It is wrestling. You have to go to training to do that. But it seems that these bozos are thinking, oh, the WWE it's fake. Just those people like, oh, wrestling is fake. That's what they're trying to do with like boxing. Oh, boxing is not hard. Anyone can do it. Anyone can do boxing. Anyone can beat up a UFC person in the boxing ring. Of course you can. Now go into the octagon. Are you going to be able to beat the UFC person or the UFC?
In their realm. That many fighters in their realm, yeah.
And we've seen, like you said, a basketball player, YouTuber, and then two retired UFC MMA fighters. It's like, okay, like that's your resume. And your fights were like 2 rounds, 1 round. Like, okay, yes, the knockouts were like, oh, yeah, dude, you got a cool shot. But it makes you wonder, were those knockouts actually knockouts, or were they like staged, or did he just get a lucky shot? Because at the end of the day,
I kind of agree with Art. I definitely agree with Art. Like it's almost turning into like a wrestling, and the biggest part of wrestling is all the personalities. Like people's favorite.
It is false.
People's favorite wrestlers are their favorite wrestlers, not because of what they wear or their special move, you know what I mean? Even though some of them are pretty OP, but like their personalities, that's something that's attractive. That's something
that can move the crowd.
But exactly. Think about it. It's not just these celebrity guys that do it. You know, Conor McGregor got away with doing it. I mean, he does a Vince McMahon millionaire walk, the strut. You know, just fucking looking like a badass. Like, I'm rich, bitch. What are you gonna do about it? You know, like their personalities, and I think that's
McGregor's different though. He's cut from a different cloth. He
adopted his personality. He adopted his personality from wrestling. That's what I'm saying. Like,
right. But he doesn't only have a great personality, but he's also super talented. Yeah.
He backs it up.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, right? Like, Jesse, what are the wrestlers you remember the most? The wrestlers that are fucking like OP, like damn, they're fucking their skills are fantastic. Or are you thinking about the personalities?
Personalities.
Yeah.
Like exactly. One of my favorites who he was definitely on the top, but he was never like amazing. What? Kane, bro.
Yeah, I mean that's a personality, brimstone and fire. Yeah, absolutely.
And his brother, the Undertaker, even though they're not brothers, is very disheartening to learn that.
Yeah, man. And been wrestling when you were growing up as a wrestling fan, it was the characters. The wrestling was second. It was always the characters, the stories that would get us behind them. Be like, oh yeah, you know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, 316, The Rock's fucking smack talk was beautiful.
Edge in his prime, like that's
the crowd. That's a movement. Today's generation of wrestling, it's more skill than personality.
Yep,
I agree. And that's why wrestling's not dying, but it's not where it was at its peak. But McGregor using that personality. I mean, we've seen a lot of other people using that, and now Jake Paul and Logan Paul. Logan Paul's stupid as fuck. He needs to get a win before he can talk shit. At least Jake might be winning against some guys that are not even boxers, but goddamn, at least he's winning. The fuck, Logan Paul's got 0. He's like 0-3 or whatever the fuck. Win something. Yes, you got $100 million, or no, he got $1 million fighting Floyd, but goddamn, shut the fuck up. Win a fight first. Win a fight. You fight Tyron Woodley next. See how that goes for you. Anyways, real quick, do you think Tommy Fury gets a shot at Jake Paul? Is that the next fight to watch?
I think he's going to go with another person that's not a boxer, that's not an actual, contender. Like, I feel like he's just going to run it out. Fury is a boxer. We saw that we saw that in the fight. Like, he is a boxer. Those fights before that main card, they're boxers. They were, okay, let me use it. Let's get in there so people can get to know us. At the end of the day, that's what it was. I don't think that they're going to put Fury. They're not going to put a real boxer with Logan or Paul or Jake.
Not anytime soon.
Oh, hell no. No. They're going to first round. That's it. Knockout. That's it. You're out.
I will say this. If it wasn't for the entertainment value of probably watching Jake Paul getting knocked out by Tyron Woodley, me and you, and unfortunately Jesse couldn't join us, like me, you, Mike, Marco, we don't get to see Serrano versus Mercado. We don't get to see Love versus Ivan. I don't want to butcher his name, so I'm not going to say it. So I'm just going to say Love versus Ivan. We don't get to see Tommy Fury, even though it's a 4-round fight, decimate his opponent. We don't get to see those good fights. I know I'm missing one on top of my head right now. Sorry. It's the one between the Love and Mercado fight. But anyways.
The one with the, what was it, the number 1 contender? The big heavyweights?
Yes, Dubois, bro. He knocked them the fuck out in the first round.
That was a great
knockout.
Not twice.
3 times.
3 times.
Bro, I'm not a fan, by the way, that you or Mike said that I look like the guy who got knocked the fuck out. I don't like that. That not make me feel good.
Oh, damn.
Not even that. I think
I see it now.
The best comments that happened that night were the ones coming from your wife. Just from the moment that I got there, she was just calling people out left and right.
Oh, shit.
Until the time that she went to sleep. I think that was the greatest thing.
Vivi knows how to roast, man.
You give her a little bit of alcohol and she'll roast. She called me Shrek, Jesse.
So what'd you hit her back with? What was your comeback?
I was stumped, actually.
Wow.
Nah, I called her Fiona.
Which, I mean, it's not the best comeback, but...
Right.
What do you want me to say to my wife?
But it was just funny, though, because... It was just hilarious, though, because out of nowhere, like, we would, like, be talking, and then Bibi would say something. It's like, oh, dang, Bibi, like, you calling them out, and then she'll stay quiet. And then something else would happen, and she'll call him out right at the back.
Just a quiet burn every time.
I'm like, dang, those
are the best, though.
It was like Michael Kelso in the background just going, burn! Like, that's literally what I could see, man. Like, that's what it was.
It's okay. Soon enough, we'll get together again and laugh. Hopefully by Vivi's birthday, because that's when UFC 266 is next. Some good fights are about to go on there. Volkanovski versus Ortega. Hopefully Jesse can come out by then, but if not, he's with us in spirit, or we'll just put him on Skype and he'll watch the fights through there.
Hell yeah, brother.
Well, anyways, thank you guys for being on tonight. I know it was a long one, but always appreciate it when y'all can help out and be on the pod.
Always.
Appreciate that. Jesse, where can the people find you at? And do you have anything to promote right now? I know you can't go anywhere, but do you have anything that you want to like promote or say? Maybe benefits for your wife or anything like that?
Definitely. There's this podcast. It's all right. It's not that good. But Little Pinch of Sports, I definitely recommend listening to them. There's someone out there who's dropping some mad dislikes on YouTube. We will find you. And and we'll just like your videos.
Just watch it.
But give my boy a follow. Give my boy a like. You can find me. I'm on Instagram, Facebook under Jesse Melez. You don't like what I say? Let me know, and I'll laugh at it.
And there's a lot of things you won't like. He says on Facebook, and he gets.
I'm a troll, and I'm good at it.
You really are.
Thank you.
Anything about the band? Just to remind you that you have them?
As of right now, no. Things have been a little wild, but yeah.
Okay,
thanks,
sounds good. Right, Art, where can the people find you at?
So they can find me on Instagram at beachbumai. Any questions about remodel? I mean, I'm doing the fantasy football draft with Jose, and then we joined another one with our friend Mike
Lou.
or Big Lou. So
damn, not your friend now.
Well, yeah, we're doing that. So yeah, and y'all can follow me here too. I mean, Jose Luis just calls me out of nowhere and say, "Hey, you think you can make it?" I mean, I guess.
And you always make it. I mean,
I always make it.
You're there for me,
yeah,
brother.
y'all can just follow the podcast. It's fun. I mean, we talk about everything, not just sports, but pretty much everything.
And just remember, if you want to debate one of us about something, feel free.
Yeah, I mean, we're all dumbasses, but we love talking.
We love talking. We could talk all day.
For a good 46 minutes.
Yeah,
so we won't call you come and shade or say you're stupid or anything, but like, hey, we'll just have fun with it.
Yeah. I mean, we might, but we don't know what we do here today anymore. God damn it. Anyways, y'all can follow me at Jose_Luis_1990 on Instagram. My kids are already crying. You can follow me at Jose Garza Jr. 10 on Twitter. Follow podcast guys on Puro Pinche Sports Podcast on Instagram. Pinche Sports Pod on Twitter. Give us a like. Give us a share. Give us a follow. Give us anything to just boost us up. We honestly appreciate it when people can comment, we can watch.
Yeah, if you have questions for us, drop a question.
For real. But thank you guys again for being on tonight. Truly appreciate it. We are Puro Pinche Sports, guys, and we are out.